Well, hello. Good evening. Oh, gosh, already people are in here. And um, it is a Monday night at Suburban Homesteader WY in Arizona. And you can tell I moved where my desk is. I moved it yesterday. And I said hi to people in the chat before we started. And Norma's here. And Sarah and, I guess Sarah is not here. She is hosting. But I appreciate you guys coming in. And Craig says, oh, they just got chickens and they got 6 eggs so far. Yes. Debbie is happy. Yes. And Ann Dale is here. Hello, Ann. Tim's here. Tim, thanks for all those great posts on Facebook all the time. I appreciate that. And sometimes it just hits home and it's just one of those perfect posts. So I appreciate it. But I hope you guys had a nice weekend. It is Monday, of course. Joe's just walking in. We are under a thunderstorm watch. It says that we could have some major thunderstorms. So if you start hearing that in the background. The other thing you'll probably hear is I planted my hydroponics today. And so I did shut the lights off because there was such a glare. But I planted all kinds of lettuces and bok choys and stuff like that. That way, whenever I want them for salads or on sandwiches or whatever, I could just easily just go right to the hydroponics. I don't even have to go outside. So I'm totally excited about that. And Lori is here. Lori, I caught just a little teeny bit of yours and the vineyard chicks when you were doing those strings. I couldn't stay, but I saw a little teeny bit of it. So I'll watch the replay on that. And he just went back outside. He's putting different posts on the battery on the little truck. They literally just slide over top of them. And I don't know, for some reason we need that. And so that's what he's doing. And he moved tires around on my little truck today. It's my garden truck. But I wasn't being lazy today. Look at that list. And I didn't get it all done yet. But I do have to do a few more things tonight. I spent the last 2 hours. I had gone out and picked dandelions because I'm making dandelion jelly. How many of you have tasted dandelion jelly? Just put it in the chat. It is amazing. It tastes kind of like honey. You'll be really surprised. I really like it. Anyway, in May, I don't let Jill mow. And so on the back hill where it goes up to the food forest, there's dandelions. And it's a part of the yard that Reagan doesn't get into. And so I don't have to worry about that. So I picked dandelions. I had a great big thing. I'm going to do a video on how to make dandelion jelly. And then you pop the head off of the dandelion, but you can't have any of that green that goes around it. And so a lot of people slice that in and they peel it. I don't do that. I just break the dandelion in half and just work all that yellow out of there. So, but you'll see that in a video this week. But one of the things I was going to ask you guys, what is the weirdest, most unusual, I guess I would say, jelly or jam you've ever had? Because I am in a collaboration next month in July or in June. And I have to do a jelly or a jam. I think my date is the 7th. And so I thought I need something that is really unusual for jelly that maybe I haven't, done before. I mean, I do make some unusual jellies, and we'll talk about those tonight too. Do we make it just like other jellies? You do. Well, somewhat. So for 2 hours this afternoon, I got all the yellow part out. My hands had stuff all over them. Then there's a lot of different ways that people do it, but the way I do it, some people just pour boiling water over top of it, put a lid on it, and let it cool, and then put it in the refrigerator for a day. But I like it better when you can, you take all the parts of the dandelion off, and then you fill it with twice as much water as you have dandelions. So if you had 2 cups of dandelions, you would have 4 cups of water. And then I just slowly simmer that for about 5 minutes, put the lid on, and let it cool down. And then I put it in the fridge. So I won't make the jelly till tomorrow. And then you strain it, and you're basically doing it just like any kind of jelly that you would have the juice, but it would be dandelion tea, basically, really. And in the video, I'll have the whole recipe and everything. But the first time I made it, I was so surprised that it tasted like honey. And so I'm kind of excited about that. And, oh, we got a couple more people in. Oh, sorry, Ann, I pressed that. I never had dandelion jelly. I need your video. And you will really like it. Hello, young lady. How are you? And Leah's in here too, saying hi to everybody. My daughter went and harvested a ton of dandelion petals, but hasn't decided what to make with it. Jelly is really good. You can actually, Mountain Grandma has a video on making dandelion bread. I'm going to make some of that this week too. But she has the video, so I don't know if I'll do the video too. Otherwise, I might just share her video at the end of my dandelion jelly so that somebody can look at that. Xander, are you guys having company? Is that what Sarah's doing when you said that she's being the host, or what is she doing? Oh, and Carola's just popped in too. So years ago, my grandmother made corncob jelly. Shelly over at Healthy Homestead Chick has a great video on making corncob jelly. And see, that's a good jelly too. This summer, my goal is to make all kinds of jams and jellies that are unusual. So that's why I'm wondering what you guys have had that's unusual. Like my lilacs are, it has the buds for the flowers, but none of my lilacs are open. Though there are some around town that are, but mine aren't open yet. And I've made lilac jelly before. It's fabulous. But there's a lot of different jellies. You know, if a plant is edible, you can make dandelion, or you can make jelly out of that. So like dandelions, lilacs, any flower that is edible, you can make rose jelly, borage jelly, mint jellies. But with mint, I usually use the leaves instead. Though you can do it from the flowers too to make the jelly. Remember, though, dandelions stand by themselves, and the lookalikes are grouped together. Oh, Bunky is here. Hey, Miss Sandy, made it. I am just a little late, but not as late as last time when I made it. Love your hair. Oh, I just didn't do anything today. I just, I watched it this morning, and I knew I had to do a lot of stuff in and out, but I wasn't going to be outside that long. So I thought, I don't have to put it up. So I just left it down. Tomorrow I start private lessons, art lessons with a gal that I have taught her art. This is probably the 3rd or 4th summer. And so I'm excited about that. Now, if you remember, I did do a video up today that only members could see today, but tomorrow it will be up. So you can check that out. It was bargains when you're shopping. What I found for 99 cents at regular stores, not at the 99-cent store, but these things were 99 cents. So I was kind of excited about that. And I had done one other one that I had showed all the different things that I got at those prices. And somebody said that you just couldn't get them at big box stores. And the store that I get them from is a small store, But I have bought things at Smith's, which would be the same as a Kruger store or a Fry's. They have different names across the country. You just have to watch, but they have some incredible sales on some of their meats, especially even organic meats, organic chickens and stuff. I've gotten those kind of sales at Albertsons, Safeway. I'm not sure you could get that at Walmart just because of the volume that they go through. They probably just are always turning it over. But you just got to kind of look at what you can get, how the store works. I always look at the expiration dates on meats and cheeses and different things. And because the day that it is the last day, the next day, that's on sale. And so you just want to kind of get to know your store. So that's kind of fun. But I guess I would say nesting. Now, you ladies that have had babies, you understand that feeling, that nesting feeling. I'm not having babies. I've already had babies. But for some reason, I have that feeling, that nesting thing. So like last night, I stayed up way late. I rearranged my whole living room. I rearranged where my office is. I did all kinds of stuff. I went through drawers and I organized that. And I haven't felt that way. But women that are about to give birth, they call it nesting because they have this feeling that they need to do stuff like that. And for some reason, I am in the nesting mode. So I have lists of things to do. And Jill's probably looking at me like, why is she doing all these things? But that's just, I feel the need to do it. And so that's what I'm doing. I planned on going to the community garden after I fix supper tonight. But now we are under severe weather. That's what we have, things coming across that we are supposed to have major thunderstorms. So we'll see. It did rain a little bit ago, I didn't think we were supposed to have rain, but I looked on the radar and this massive thing is coming towards us. So we'll see what we get. A busy little bee. That's right. And speaking of bees, this summer, I am going to build one of those Russian hives. They're bigger. They're all one level. Well, you could actually have two levels. I have some plans that have two levels too. But they're all insulated because, my bees died. I wasn't here. But we had warm and cold and warm and cold. And, when you have stretches that it's warm for a week or so, the bees think it's springtime. And then all of a sudden it'll drop way below zero and they're spread out through the hive and they just can't keep themselves warm. And so I've decided I'm just not going to have that happen again. So one of the videos this week, actually, or not this week, this summer, will be all about building a Russian hive. Just because it has two layers, it's got insulation in between each layer, and it's kind of a cool setup. It never gets really tall. The highest it's ever is 2 supers high, but it's all contained in one box. And so sometimes when people build them, they have 2 different hives and they have a wood plank that goes in between. But it hurts my heart when my bees die. It's one of those things that I don't deal with very well because, your bees pollinate everything. Your bees make you honey. Your bees are just there. And so it's a tough thing. And Angie is here. Hey, Ange girl. How are you? I hope you had a good day. And Ange, we're talking about weird jellies too. So what is the weirdest jelly or jam that you've ever had in your life? I would like to, I'm not sure about if they're all over the country, but there's a wild plant and it's called fireweed. And I guess it makes fabulous jelly. And so I'm going to go up into the mountains and I'm going to get some of that also and make some jelly with that. And I'm all summer long, I'm just going to watch, because you can make jellies from violets, any kind, like lilies, like those orange lilies. You can eat those flowers. I mean, people batter them and deep fry them, opened and not opened, and they eat them. And so I think I want to try making jellies from all kinds of flowers that I have this year. And so I'd like some weird ideas of weird jellies to make. Yep, I'm making lilac jelly. My buds are swelling, but they haven't opened up yet. And I actually have 1, 2, 3, 4 areas that I have lilacs, and they're all different kinds of lilacs. Oh, that is a funny idea, Ange. Make the toothache plant jelly. I grow this plant, and it's called a toothache plant, because if you chew on the flower, actually, even if you chew on the leaves will make your tongue tingle. But if you chew on the flowers, it will numb your mouth. Hence, that's why they call it the toothache plant. And I actually have a whole bunch flowering right now. I have them downstairs under lights. And so that would be a fun idea. I mean, I wouldn't be able to make a lot, but it would be fun. And if you had a toothache, you could just put some of that right on there. That's a good idea, Aunt. I took a grow shelf out of my bedroom, put it back in the hallway with all this stuff on it, and then cleaned out the landing that had become a holding spot and a big pile of clothes to donate. See, you get in those nesting modes. And see, that's what I think I'm in right now. Garden huckleberry jam. See, that would be tasty. And my one friend always grows garden huckleberries. I'll talk to her and see if I can get some of those. I've had fireweed donuts, really popular in Alaska. If you don't know what a fireweed is, it's very tall. And the ones that we have here are kind of, I guess I would call them fuchsia color, kind of between purple and pinkish. And they're very beautiful, but they grow along roadsides and they grow all over the place. But you don't want to get them along the roadside if you're going to make jelly, because dust, any chemicals, exhaust, stuff like that. But you can just go into the fields and they have them too. And so I think that's what I'm going to find them, the best ones. When I lived in South Dakota, I did dig some up and I actually grew them at my house because I liked what they look like. And they're just beautiful wild plants. And so that's one of my other ones. But I have to decide what one to do for June 7th. So if my lilacs come right in, I could probably do that. I have borage that comes up as an herb that comes up in the garden wherever it feels like it, But I have some growing from seed also. And so I thought I might make some jelly from that. I tried growing some here, but the seeds didn't germinate. I dug up plants. I didn't do those from seed for the fireweed. Sometimes, you can't dig them up in a national forest. But if you know some people that have property and they'll let you dig them up, then you're getting some of that same soil. And I think that's what helps it when you're transplanting it. So, Lori says to Bunky, loved your robin's nest. The eggs are so pretty. That is so nice of you to do that. I tried growing some here, but the seeds, I already did that. Sorry. My borage from seed is huge, just about to bloom. Never thought to make jelly. Yeah, because that borage flower, that purple flower, kind of has a kind of a cucumbery taste. And the more you pick them, those flowers, because you just grab onto the center and pull that out. If you guys haven't ever pulled the flowers off of borage, it stimulates them to make more flowers. So totally excited about that. Now I'm of course painting with Mary on Tuesdays and Thursday mornings now, all the way through the summer. And she's picked out some spectacular paintings or photos that she sent me that will make fantastic paintings. And I am doing some glass bowls. And so I should have those done by the end of the week. And so I'll show those Friday night. And I'd like to give one away, but the thing is, they're so fragile. It would be a hard thing to give away, but I could give away one of my fuse glass, or a couple of them of my fuse glass plant stakes. So I could do that on Friday night. Friday night at 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time is when I have Late Night with Nana. It is my very last Late Night with Nana. And so you can tune in, and I will tell you all about why it is my last Late Night with Nana. Good reasons, I think, why I'm doing it. Also, we're having an herb festival here. So any ideas you guys have in the chat about fun things when you've gone to herb festivals that you like to do, that you liked to see, that I planted 2 great big tubs. I mean, seriously, they're like this big around, like that big around, of 12 different mints, because I want to do some things with mints. Diana is here. Toothache plant, if made into jelly, would cause you to numb your throat. That would be true. Where you could have problems swallowing. That might be the case. Though when I've chewed those just for fun because it's silliness, you know. And I mean, your whole mouth is numb. But maybe with the jelly, when you're swallowing, that would be different. It could be. Yeah, I don't know. I'll do some research about that, you know, before I find out about that. Hey, Todd, how are ya? Might be good for a sore throat. Yeah, see, I'll do some research on that and figure it out. Bunky says she's never been to an herb festival. We have them every 2 years. So it's 1 year and then we don't have it and then we have it again. And we have had like all kinds of baked goods made with herbs, how to make vinegars with herbs, how to do oils with herbs, how to make salves and soaps. And there's all these different people that come and they show how they do their stuff. So it's all about learning. I mean, there are some people that will have things for sale, but it's really all about learning. And then they always have this table of it. It's supposed to encourage kids to touch the plants. And so they get to squeeze it, rub it, smell it, see if they can figure out what kind of plant that is, if it's familiar to them. Now, ones that are really easy are like mints, but other ones like tarragon. A lot of kids have never tasted tarragon. They don't know what it looks like. They've tasted oregano because it's on their pizzas. So it kind of stimulates them. And then we'll have like coloring sheets with different herbs so that the kids can do that or take it home and want to learn about herbs. And the idea is that maybe their parents will have an herb garden the next year. 1 year we had a barbecue with it, and we had grass-fed beef. And I mean, we sold out of tickets so early, but it was a lot of work, and we haven't done the barbecue again. But one of these years we will again. But like we had ladies that grow lavender, and they braid the lavender, and they do the different things with the lavender. I kind of like lavender cookies, lemon lavender cookies. I think those are just fabulous. cacti. Ah, I mean, I like prickly pear jelly, but I would have to buy the prickly pears, the pads in the stores, because not that we don't have them in Wyoming, I just don't have access to that. So, but there's a lot of different cacti that you can make jelly from the flower. It flowers and then it has that little, well, miniature cactus really. But you can make jellies out of those. And so that's an idea. But I just wanted something that nobody else would be doing. Something crazy with jellies. And I mean, dandelion is unusual, but it's not like, I mean, I've done it lots of times before. I've seen videos about it. I just was trying to think of something crazy and fun. So we'll see. But I almost finished my list today. How many of you guys are list writers? Do you do a list every single day and then you just cross it off? I got to do this one still tonight. This one I'm not going to get done. Planting the veggies. That'll have to be tomorrow. Just another day at the homestead. And how are the chickens? We got our 5 chickens. They're a different kind than the ones we had last year. They don't lay as well. Our Australos, they laid every single day. So we've gotten 4, and then we've got 2, and then we didn't get any. Then we got 4. Today, when I checked earlier, there was 1, but maybe there's more now. But they're not very consistent. And I think she must have thought that they might not be, because she says, if they don't lay for you, let me know, and I'll get different chickens to you. So maybe they're getting a little older. And, because sometimes when chickens get too old, they don't lay as well. And so I just thought, well, I'll go through the rest of the week and see if they just kind of get in the schedule. I'm feeding them good. I'm giving them layer food. I'm giving them other supplements, lots of greens. I have this steak that's in there, and I pounded 4 apples on there, and they knew exactly what that was. And they were just eating away at those apples. So that was kind of fun. And Julie's here too. Hey, Julie, how are you? Oh, good. They are great. The big girls are laying every day, and the baby girls are growing like crazy. Chickens are just so much fun to have. It's one of my great pleasures in the summertime. I can just sit there and watch them. You have a cup of tea and you can just sit and watch them, and they're just funny and they're silly. And the first couple of days they were very nervous, but now I can go into the pen and it's like, oh, she's in there again. They don't care. I went on yard calls this weekend, and a yard call with the master gardeners. They call the extension office. They say, I'm having problems with this. My grass is dying. My tree, there's something wrong with my tree. How do I move my rows? And so I went on 4 calls Saturday afternoon. And I had to go to a lady's house. She wasn't home. She said, just go through the back gate. She tells me where the tree is, and she says that her tree has a fungus. So I get back there, and I'm looking on the tree, and I know there's no fungus on that tree. But then I'm looking really close, and she had oyster shell scale on her aspen tree, which is fixable. But if you have aspens, and then all of a sudden you have these little tiny grayish black, they almost look like, they don't look like the same kind of scale that's on a citrus. They're much smaller. And they were just going up the trunk of that aspen tree. I mean, it was covering it all the way around. But you can get rid of it. You just take like a plastic scrubby, like a kitchen scrubby, and you just lightly rub on there. And then you can put some horticultural oil so they don't come back up there. But the babies hide under the mama, and that's the mama you see. And those babies are what are going to be on the tree the next year. So she just has to get rid of them. But it's always fun to see other people's yards. You know, it gives you some ideas. Oh, Anne says that she's making very good friends with her chickens. Maybe a little too much. Crazy chicken lady is real. I totally understand it. Yeah, it's hard, because we just get to have our chickens for the summertime because our friends let us borrow some of theirs. But it's hard when I go to Arizona and I don't have that farm fresh eggs, because we've started eating the eggs already, of course, and they're just so dark orange, and the shells are so much harder, and they're just fabulous. I really can't live without chickens anymore. That's all there is to it. But we are already at 31 minutes. I have to go fix Joe's supper. I have to make, I have to take my canvases. It's not this size canvas. This is 8x8. She's going to do 11x14s. And so I got to go do that. Oh, Rebecca is just popping in. And Rebecca, we are just leaving. But remember, if you are a member, that video is up for you to see today. Not the members video, a different video. And everybody else can see them tomorrow. So that's kind of a fun thing that they are doing to let our, they're testing, beta testing, all kinds of stuff. And so that's kind of a fun project that they're doing. But I'm going to go check, see if I have some more eggs before it starts raining. And I hope you enjoy the videos this week. And make sure you stop in on Friday night, 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time, because we're going to talk about why I can't do Friday Night Lives anymore. And the Vineyard Chicks with Bunky Girl will be on in 28 minutes. So I hope you guys have a great evening. And thanks for stopping by, and I will see you soon. Bye, everybody.